In this lecture, we are going to examine how we can loop over arrays using the methods available to us in the past with ES5 and also the new for-of looping mechanism in ES6. We have a couple of different ways of looping through arrays in ES5 JavaScript. For one, we have the classic for loop, like what you see on the screen right now. We have an array, and we can do for initial value, maximum value, how we iterate the index, and then we can just print out the value of our array index as we loop through it. So if I run this, 1, 2, 3 gets printed out as the values of the array, 1, 2, 3. With ES5 JavaScript, we can also use the for each method on the array class, like so. So we can do array for each. And that prints out 1, 2, 3 as expected as well. So the for each mechanism is slightly shorter to write than the old for mechanism, but it has a few downsides. You can't break out of the loop with the break statement, and you can't return from the outermost function with the return statement. In ES5 JavaScript, we have the for in looping mechanism, and this is designed for iterating over an object's properties, like so. So if we have, so we type for let prop in object, and then we print out the value of that property in the object. So prop will first equal A, and then it will equal B, and then we use that A and B to log out the values of A and B in the object. So that's why in the console, we can see 1 and 2 getting printed out. So in fact, if I also wrote prop, that might make it easier to understand. So prop is A, and we use A to get 1. Prop is B, then we use B to get 2. So if we try to use the for in looping mechanism with an array, it might initially look like it's working. So if I was to just this array go on top and try doing something like this. Okay, so it might initially look like it's working, or at least it might look like it's giving us the index of the array 0, 1, 2. So let me call it index to make it clearer. But instead of printing out the value of index, let's print out the type of index. And then we can see what actually gets printed out is string. The index variable is a string, not a number. So using for in with arrays converts the index to a string. And if you were expecting a number, but in fact have a string, this can cause you a number of problems. For instance, if you try to add 1 plus 2 and you're expecting 1 and 2 to be numbers, you might expect that to be 3, but in fact it prints out 12 because it's actually just concatenating two strings together. And this is why using for in for arrays is not really recommended. So rather than change the way for in loop works in ES6 and the process creates a breaking change, forcing tens of thousands of developers to change their code, instead, in ES6, we have a new syntax called for-of. So we just type for let, and it won't return the index, it will return the value of array. So now when we print out value, let's run that, 1, 2, and 3 get printed out. Not the index. It's not the index of the array. Maybe let's call it 10, 20, 30. 10, 20, 30. The values of the array get printed out. Not the index, not 0, 1, 2. So this is the most concise way of looping through array elements. It avoids all the pitfalls of for in, and it works with break, continue, and return. In summary, the for in loop is for looping over an object's properties. The for of loop is for looping over the values in an array. And the for of is not just for arrays. It also works with most array-like objects, including the new set and map types, which we'll cover in the next lecture.